Ever wondered how many times a day you reach for your cell phone? Or how often you find your thumb mindlessly scrolling social media when you should be doing something else? These seemingly harmless habits might be indicative of a more pervasive issue: cell phone addiction. Cell phone addiction, a term that may sound like an overstatement to some, is a very real problem. With the rapid advancement in technology and the increasing accessibility of cell phones, this modern-day malady is becoming more common than one would like to think. A sneaky culprit that often flies under the radar, cell phone addiction can lead to a plethora of harmful effects, both physically and mentally. One of the most alarming issues is the development of nomophobia, the fear of being without one's cell phone. This fear, while it may seem absurd to some, can lead to anxiety, restlessness, and a constant need for validation. It's a vicious cycle that feeds on our insecurities and exploits our dependence on technology. Social media addiction often accompanies cell phone addiction. The constant need for updates, the insatiable hunger for likes, and the incessant urge to stay connected can take a toll on one's self-esteem. It can lead to impaired work performance, not to mention the inevitable interpersonal conflicts that arise when we prioritize our virtual interactions over real-world connections. Teenagers, with their newfound independence and growing curiosity, are particularly susceptible to cell phone addiction. Their reliance on social media for validation and acceptance can lead to a skewed sense of self-worth, and their constant engagement with their phones can often interfere with their academics and personal growth. But fear not, as ominous as this all sounds, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Recovery from cell phone addiction is not only possible, but also within reach. It begins with acknowledging the problem. The first step is to understand and accept that an addiction exists. Then comes the challenging part: breaking the habit. This can be achieved through a variety of methods, such as setting boundaries for cell phone use, designating specific times for checking social media, and consciously engaging in activities that do not involve a screen. It also involves fostering real-world connections and interactions and finding validation within oneself rather than from social media likes. Lastly, seeking professional help can also be beneficial. Therapists and psychologists can provide valuable insights and techniques to cope with withdrawal symptoms and overcome the addiction. To recap, cell phone addiction is a real and growing issue that can lead to a host of problems, including impaired self-esteem, poor work performance, and interpersonal conflicts. It is particularly prevalent among teenagers due to their increased accessibility to cell phones and reliance on social media. However, with acceptance, determination, and the right strategies, recovery is possible and within reach. Remember, it's not about completely eliminating technology from our lives, but about developing a healthier relationship with it. A cell phone is a tool, and like all tools, it should serve us, not the other way around.